We've been working on this for 3 years. We've lined up the carriers, we lined up the work, we lined up the technology, put it all together, and so we're uniquely situated to take advantage of this position. And so now it's up to us to build scale. We've had almost every tier 1 top 10 lender in North America approach us. The cost of housing is at one of its all-time peaks. If you can find a way to reduce the cost and make our lender partners more competitive in marketplaces, saving on average of between $1,000 and $2,000 for the average house, then you've really, really touched a key piece.
Jim Albertelli joins me now. He's the CEO of Voxtur Analytics, trading on the TSX Venture under the symbol VXT, and in the United States under the symbol VXTRF. Jim, welcome back.
Hey, good to be with you. Thank you for having me.
You bet. Jim, so big news lately with Fannie Mae coming out and approving these attorney opinion letters, and correct me if I'm wrong, Voxtur's the only game in town who can actually provide them right now.
Yeah, so that's absolutely correct. We worked for the past 3 years with the prior administration, with the Biden administration, FHFA, and the GSEs, Fannie and Freddie, really looking at what could move the needle for home ownership and reduce the cost without increasing the risk at all to the homeowner. And the title insurance industry was ripe for innovation, and so we created the technology. Voxtur has the technology that allows for the scaling and the production of an attorney opinion letter with some unique qualities that allow that opinion to go for the entire life of the loan between transferor and transferee. And that's the special sauce. That's why really, lawyers couldn't do it before. They couldn't work at scale. They didn't have access to the technology to be able to do an appropriate professional job based on all the factors. So there's no way to assimilate all the information in one spot. Our technology does that. It dual factor authenticates and protects the person when they go in, when an attorney goes into that environment. It tees up questions and answers based on data, so it matches the question to the data. So a lot of that process was created by the Voxtur technology, and it was the culmination of my expertise of over 25 years as being a practicing lawyer, the technical chops of Voxtur's technical team being able to put it together, and then the understanding of the transfer process, so we could have a unique insurance wrapper that surrounds our product. And we, like I said, we've been working on this for 3 years. We've lined up the carriers, we lined up the work, we lined up the technology, put it all together, and so we're uniquely situated to take advantage of this position. And so now it's up to us to build scale. We've had almost every tier 1 top 10 lender in North America approach us. It's super important. Right, as you know, rates are up, right? So rates are going up. The cost of housing is at one of its all-time peaks. Wages are eroding under inflation. So if you can find a way to reduce the cost and make our lender partners more competitive in marketplaces, saving on average of between $1,000 and $2,000 for the average house in many jurisdictions, then you've really, really touched a key piece.
What kind of revenue picture does this add to the Voxtur overall revenue picture just on these attorney opinion letters? What's the size of this market opportunity?
Look, title insurance industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry. These guidelines haven't changed for 76 years. Voxtur did it. We gave people the confidence to do it. So you talk about, to your investors, why invest in the company? And you and I would talk about walls and moats. And I said, well, we have, I've had over 25 years of relationships with major financial institutions in the U.S. Gary has even longer history building multinational companies. Gary Yeoman, our executive chairman, and in the tax space, the ICA space, he created Altus, as we know. So we have that. We have the MSAs, those master services agreements you and I talked about before. That's your stickiness. You get the MSA, it takes 1 year to 2 years. You're vetted, you're audited by financial companies. It's not like another startup. I mean, it's not like another micro cap or small cap company. We've had to have the institutional rigor to stand up to audits of major financial institutions. So that's another wall or moat. Then we have IP. We filed a process patent around the AOL. We've got patent around our valuation technology and the digitized workflow. We have intellectual property around our real property tax analytics, which is being deployed in Canada and the U.S. So that's another wall or moat. And then we have first mover advantage. So you're going to see us now really, really building scale and attacking this market with all the vim and vigor and doing the other things we told you about, which was, you land and expand. People love organic growth. Organic growth are two factors: innovation's organic, and then really being able to bundle our services. Come in with the AOL and save your consumer $1,000. You've got to do a valuation anyway. Here we are. Why not use a great product like one of our valuation services? Or why not buy data from us and we'll reduce the cost of your data, and you can do that to help mine leads. Now you mine leads more effectively, and you have a lower cost basis, means you do more loans. That's innovation. That's what Voxtur's doing.
The process of distribution of this product is through your lending partners.
Well, yeah, it's going to be through a number of channels, right? So Voxtur has the tech-enabled service component in its title group to do the settlement service and to use Voxtur's technology to deploy and put this out. So maybe the first, I'll call it 1,000 units, 2,000 units. Those are our kind of our test case units where we control everything, right? We're testing, we're delivering, we're going back to our clients, and we can maintain a low-cost basis. What we'll do then is we will take our technology and we'll license it to other title companies. Who knows? We might license it to First American or Old Republic or someone else, or we might license it to large independent title agents so that they can use it. And they can use that technology as one arrow in their quiver to be more competitive. So I imagine, large financial institutions like multiple settlement providers, 2, 3 different companies doing it, gives them redundancy, protects them from some risk. We'll be the engine behind all three, and maybe we'll be one of the vendors and do a little bit of the work. But really, we're a software as a service company. We want to connect to the data elements and let the other folks sell it, let them compete, and we'll be the technology behind the scene. And hopefully, we'll capture the largest part of that 1 million units a month, right? Yeah.
So in the current environment where it's obvious, interest rates are going to go up. They're going to go up hard. Inflation's broken 8.5% in the U.S. There's a contingent of my audience who says, oh, well, that's bad for Voxtur. And in fact, it's the opposite, as you, I'm sure, could explain better than I.
When the mortgage market over the past 2 years was so busy, with where basically anybody could be a loan officer, loans would come in off the street, and you'd give someone a refinance, right? Very little brain damage. It was a cost savings for everybody. So that's not very tough, right? So nobody wanted to innovate. If you're the biggest mortgage lenders in this country, your Rocket Mortgage or Wells Fargo Mortgage, someone else, you're drinking from a fire hose. You're not going to cut anybody's costs. You have no incentive to cut the cost. Why would you do that? You're not going to use a new process. Why take any risk? You don't need to take any risk. It's only in an environment where the market constricts and the rate this way through rates and the pricing, where people really look around and go, wait a second. Instead of laying these people off, I need to get more competitive. What is out there in the industry that's new? What's different? What can we do? Oh, well, now leads don't just show up and knock on our door and say, can I have a mortgage? Now we got to be more thoughtful. Who has the data that could mine this for leads for us and deploy it effectively? Oh, that'd be Voxtur. Okay, well, now I've got the lead in the door, but everybody's got the same rate. Now, how am I going to be more competitive? How am I going to reduce my cost? Oh, wait a second. I could use the Voxtur's AOL and I could save my client $1,000. So if my company offers this loan and another company offers a loan, Voxtur's is $1,000 less. You don't care where the money comes from. Money's fungible. You'll tip the bank with the lower cost. You go, oh, $1,000 less. I'm going to go with Bank of America or with Wells Fargo. So I think that this environment that we're in is a tremendous opportunity of growth for Voxtur. No one was paying attention. Now everybody's paying attention. And by the way, the other piece that you and I, we never get to it because because it hadn't been as material, is that Voxtur also has technology that manages bankruptcies and foreclosures, has a default component to it. So, you're going to have, that's why I say, I think that this is like a tale of two cities, except it's like the best of times and the better of times. It really is. we got this business going where people want to innovate. We're going to innovate, reduce the cost of home ownership. To the extent the moratorium go off, we have an opportunity to perform there as well. So you've got both of the cylinders, really moving. And I think the smart money, people who get it, look at Voxtur and say, wait a second, these guys have figured out. And really, I think we've got a long road to hoe, a long way to go to realize our dream of really changing the mortgage ecosystem and helping homeowners. And we have a lot more to do to reduce costs, and we're going to keep doing it.
You bet. All right, Jim, fantastic update as usual. We'll leave it there for now and come back in the future. And thanks for joining us.
All right, love it. Thank you.
You bet.